Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Pat's Travel Pass. Today, we're flying United's 777-300 variant all the way from Osaka to San Francisco, their West Coast hub, and we'll be trying it out in their purple Premium Plus seats. Come join us. Our trip began from Kyoto Station, about an hour and 15-minute train ride all the way to Osaka's International Airport, KIX, KIX. They also have another airport just north of the downtown that's more for domestic travel. You'll want to snag the direct line here, as you can see on my left screen. It does cost a little bit more, approximately $25 US, but it gets you there directly with only a few stops in between. This is a reserved seating car, so I would definitely do your research on how to get your basic fare ticket plus your reserved seat. As you can see, 1-2 configuration, super comfortable, plenty of space here for your checked luggage, and we're into Terminal 1 here at Osaka's airport, which is where United departs from. Now, this flight is typically served once a day on their 200 variant, and we actually received an equipment swap last minute to their 300 ER variant. So our seats luckily did not change because, as you can see here, this is the 200 seat map on their international flights. You can see plenty of Polaris seats going back to row 15. On the 300 ER variant and 300 variant, it goes to row 18. However, since we are in Premium Plus, those purple seats, those 3 rows in a 242 configuration are maintained. They are the same row numbers, so there was no impact to our seats. We are seated in 22 A and B here for this 9.5-hour journey across the Pacific. So what do we have at our seat? Headphones, blanket, pillow, and an Amenity Kit by Therabody, which is very consistent with previous United reviews. The slippers, we got that from someone else in our party up in Polaris, so those do not come. And let's take a look at the seat. Tray table pops out via the latch to the half size here. We have a nice fold up I wouldn't say window, but stand for your phone or iPad, anything that can't really stand on its own, which I really appreciate. I also appreciate the half table because then you can actually sneak out of your seat even during meal service or while you're using it. Folds out to a full table, pretty sturdy, I'd say. And then this is where the premium space kind of comes in. You have a solid armrest / divider with space for drinks without having a tray table. You have the Saks Fifth pillow as well as a blanket. Pillow's pretty soft, which I appreciate. Make sure to fold out the pillow casing so then when you stuff it next to your seat, you don't actually get it dirty. We have the remote here next to the seat controls. It's a leg rest that extends out as well as your back recline. Pretty solid for a premium economy seat, and I like that it's manual, so there's no issues with it not working. And then plenty of storage here with this little cubby for charging port as well as the Amenity Kit. Screen is massive and it can actually bend. So even if someone in front of you reclines, you can extend the bottom out to help maintain that angle. We've reviewed United's entertainment before, and we all know they have plenty of movies, plenty of games, and they even have a new interactive map to see where your plane is at the time. But that's enough of our seat review. We pushed back from the gate and headed towards the runway out on this island airport. One thing to note with the bags, we had a little half overhead bin that was perfect for our carry-on and backpack, so plenty of storage even if you're only boarding in group 2, I believe. So we were boarding in group 1 due to some of our other party members. Now let's listen in to those 777 engines roar. I'd say for domestic carrier premium cabin service, so far we've met all the expectations. The pillow, the bedding, the amenity kit, and the seat functions all have met expectations. Now, quick look at the amenity kit. I mentioned it was from Therabody, and they tend to go through different bag designs. The purple seats, though, tend to be a sort of zip bag like this. The Polaris ones are a bit nicer. But we have an eye mask here after the socks with the little grippies, soft tissues. We have a dental kit and the Arrive Revived next to the earplugs. Now, this is pretty much everything you would need on a flight like this. This is a technical overnight flight. There's only a few hours of darkness since we were crossing the date line and going against the sun. In the Arrive kit, we have hand cream, as well as some lip balm and a towelette, which was actually really nice. United seems to do a really good job with all those serums and creams and potions. It tends to hit all of the marks for people that are looking for that. Awesome view of Mount Fuji out of the left side of the plane here as you depart. I would say if you're ever leaving south of Tokyo, you should be able to get a good view of Mount Fuji poking out of the clouds. Okay, dinner service. We went with the pasta with the white bean paste here. It wasn't that great, but we had a nice salad with artichoke, cherry tomato, Parmesan cheese. The brownie did come in a bag, but what are we going to do? It was still pretty good. Little bread roll, I wish they would have pulled it out of the plastic, along with drink service, which came at one time. They usually do separate drink service right before, which is what we use that middle console spot for. The flight attendant was awesome, though, really personable, and came through with a second round of drinks after dinner. So that's what you're seeing here. Love that they have the dry Asahi beer. That's a very traditional beer that you'll find all over Japan. Quick look at the bathroom here. Pretty standard for the 777-300. Definitely not the cleanest, unfortunately, but it is a little bit snug. After a few hours of shut-eye, 3 to 4, cabin's still pretty dark, as United tends to make it go pretty black. But woke up in time for breakfast, which we had the katsu here, which is a traditional Japanese dish, along with some fresh fruit and a bread roll. I do really like that they, instead of doing the traditional like omelet, eggs, or French toast breakfast, they actually did something that is from Japan, so it's a little bit more tailored in terms of the catering. Here we have the vegetable curry to my right. Those are the two options. Unfortunately, sitting in this row, which is ideal when sleeping, because then nobody can kick the back of your seat or anything, you do run out of food options. And finally, after about 9 hours of open ocean flying, we are coming in to the California coast, and San Francisco International Airport came into view. I'm all for our pilot wanting to get us there, but man, this turn was really overcooked as we rolled back to the right after a strong turn to the left to get lined up with our final runway approach. Of course, being on the 777-300ER, the landing was absolute butter. So we here at Pat's Travel Pass only like to travel using points and miles. That's the absolute best way to see the world, especially when you're young and saving money. So we actually snagged these seats for 65,000 United miles each, which is as low as it will go for a flight like this. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.